Joseph Boga couldn't even rescue himself. So when he passing around, oh, cause I did, cause I died. Where were you when I raised him money left and right to feed him and fly him from hospital to hospital? Where were you all sitting there talking nonsense? Talking about cause I ain't got no integrity. I didn't have integrity when I was feeding Joseph Boga, your God. Bunch of ungrateful people. Have you heard Joseph Boga deny that I was raising money left and right to feed him? Have you heard him deny it? He will never deny it because he knows this to be true.
Some of you people thought I was never going to create families of Boga. Yeah. Because I went to counties. I'm not criticizing because I want to criticize. I'm criticizing because we said yesterday, former President, we have a right private jet. But the Joseph Boga at brought to power is riding private jet from here to go to the country. Yeah. But I will speak because people in sacrifice saw me when I was passing to go with my comfort. Spend my own money to bring him to power because we thought the wrong yesterday was going to be right today. Yeah. I had no regret to vote against one person. But the people that are brought to power will regret why I had to vote for them in people. This country is a better place and will be a better place. Yes, sir. Because there's money in the country that we can live from. We don't need money from outside. So, but we don't want to empower people here. We say that our lawmakers, we have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money in the budget for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawmakers. Some people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the law. The law you make is breaking the law, but you want to go up. You know why people want to go up? Because they want to increase the time. They say they are too short. You cannot be a cancer, then you want to run global. You cannot be a lawmaker that disrespecting the law that we made ourselves. Then you say you want to say that, then you waste your time. Nobody here can be for the government economy. But when we can be for it's not happening, and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people from the government came and said, "Sanctify people, don't know that one person getting 1% I want to go in law." But they said that over there in fact their family people because they need work. And now the person that need work and the person sanctify people say they want it. We implore our family people, but some people are happy because it is the time to be happy. It is nobody's time when the country is not better. It is everybody's time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Where we will come here and say, Brother Saccoles, you people will have to appoint a commissioner for Saccoles. Brother Saccoles, they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern your people. They got people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person with entry people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million and break out for marketeers, people rather, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there, but everything is wrong with carrying the benefit of because we are close.
Tell Joseph Boga to forget about Yeke Koluba.
What is Boga doing? Yeke Koluba.
He betrayed Yeke Koluba. So when Yeke Koluba forced you are not allowed to you talk. You forsake yourself when Yeke Koluba forced you. But when Yeke Koluba forced you from here, you want to know what laughing and say Yeke Koluba. So to them, and you say, who they say about Yeke Koluba for that, and I'm going to put Yeke Koluba there. You know, when I move to Dualanda, you move to all the way to go, just to take the ball for Yeke Koluba.
You last year you go for Yeke.
Yes.
For who Benin?
Because Yeke Koluba and the one that is talking to you know us. So you are telling to this Yeke Koluba because a battle for
Why Yeke can be talking to the president? It's not a good thing.
Unless you give for power, you give for job. Yes. They're happy. Saying that you are not happy to you. Then you are not going to betray Yeke Koluba or betray the great people in life today. Yeke Koluba are not going to be passing. You understand? You have to get them out of there.
He said the president Kwame is the most corrupt.
You shut me down for that boy, I can't call you back. I'm going to tell you back, I'm not talking to you. Then you forget boy, I can't call you back. Now I want to let my dad who said you go away. Then you forget boy, I can't call you back. Anything I do for me, my people, the other person. Then you do, I can't call you back. We don't know, then we know you. Our sister will go, take that day, I can't call you back from them. Now you know. Then they are not doing it, I can't call you back in our house.
Okay. All right, coming to anything you want to say final before we leave you? Thank you so much.
You know, see, because someone else said a corner, so they rest our corner, they do our own day. And they tell the other police maker they won't do our corner. You can't watch it for it.
My friend, you made me say that. I heard you last night. Yeah, phone indeed to move far. Absolutely, after the whole election. In my corner. If you hear my preaching most Sunday, you will conclude that I'm right. Will you rescue as a legislator after winning? The broadcaster don't even answer my phone. They don't let me down. They don't even have time. Oh, I don't talk because God knows why it's happening. And everything I will accept it because our son is vice president to him from Nimba. The Nimba will not understand if I start hating on Breaker. The Senate got a start for Breaker. When we have wrote, the Senate takes a comprehensive report of the funding and the taxes, the simple ruling, and the amnesty law, and everything, and the provision statement for those commissioners who decided on budget from here. And said the way forward is the Panama Hall discussion for peace. Then when brother come out, he is deceived by coming there. They don't there, don't be there. And you know where he's just thinking all kind of way, brother, all kind of things. You want to go after people? Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house in the upper house. So they went talking away, talking of things for the teaching. They did a resolution that passed because of money progress. Yeah. Then they said it. So they said it. Then something happened. Wow. They almost ran to Yombi house. Then the brother that choose the money. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Then when I heard what was happening, there were only 2 persons to town. That was me, that was Bani. Jim Bani. That way I went to boom. I know what is going on. You were here when we had sent paper. And you were here with our own leadership. And we sent the report with all documents. Legal documents. To guide here. Then God demonstrated on the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the 2011. Because he was not wrong with that. You're right. He demonstrated that. You're right. Then after serving as Bible for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of woman, and he wants to persecute us. He's not going to persecute us. So what is going on with the phone? That phone said, well, what I'll do for you to help you with my life. There's only that. Because he's not wrong with that. You're right. He demonstrated that. You're right. Then after serving as Bible for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of woman, and he wants to persecute us. He's not going to persecute us.
And they're professional. I said, well, Uncle, let me think about it very first. To be honest with you folks, I never asked you to come.
When they were coming,
You had
they
just
said
taken
they
the
were
dance
freedom
to
fighters.
US.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators.
Now you're
But
asking
when
me
they
to go
came
back
here,
to $1,000. Then he said, you might be inclined to give the money because he wants something. So this is the honest man. This is the honest Joe Walker. The Joseph Walker, he's an honorable man, is asking me what else to me on the free.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day. What a wonderful, pleasant opportunity it feels to be back behind these microphones. To engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. On a brand new Monday. Today is the 10th day of November, and of course the season is right around the corner. The season is right around the corner, but it's already season out there. Times are hard, things are tough, Liberians are struggling, and the most cherished moment in the year is passing by slowly. We're not many people taking cue. But again, that's such a time, such a condition. And of course, what a great way. We'd like to welcome all of you, our friends, our followers. Good morning, good morning. Good morning and welcome to Liberia's most informative breakfast platform, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9, where we discuss the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. Without fear nor favor, we speak truth to power. This is the People's Station. Good morning, Liberia. Our friends, our fans. To those of you in the diaspora, it's always a good thing to have you join us. And this morning, it's also very good that we have all of our platforms on and beaming. What is the online radio, the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and all of it is beaming. Because guess what? Today promises to be very, very interesting. Oh yes, what a great day it feels to be back. So the weekend was indeed very long. Since last Wednesday we left this place. We're just making a return today, and too many happened. And of course, the menu is indeed very loaded with interesting conversations for you this morning. Setting the agenda for your week's conversations on issues of critical national concerns. Good morning, fellow Liberians. Welcome and welcome. What does the menu look like this morning? It's important to let you know that the president has returned from his two-legged trip to Paris and, of course, the UAE. And there are also some very interesting developments from those areas that we would like to unpack this morning. But the news of the week, as we close up on last week, was the arrest, the asset recovery task force. Indictments that were all over the place, and we saw arbitrary arrest of permanent Liberians, across for a variety of reasons. Council of Clark Edward Mountains. Was the man making the news at the close of the week. So So we have the full indictment. We have the press conference. The press release. We have it all here. And there have also been very sharp reactions to the action of the Asset Recovery Task Force by some of the defendants. And it's important. We're going to bring you up to speed with that as well.
Freedom fighter, you raping our women. Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
And then we will move to part 2 of the conversation this morning that will look exclusively at the president travel out of the country. What did the president do while out of Liberia? What do we stand to benefit? What have we heard so far? As multiple reports have indicated, among many things that were achieved while the president was away, basically, fellow Liberians, for you to all, because the executive branch has refused to tell us. I remember when Kula held the press conference, she rudely spoke to the people of this country that the president's job or the president's travel is not to go bring money in bag and come and be beaten. I think that was very rude, and disrespectful to the people of this country. But again, when you take small children, you get them big job, that's what you get. All the thing is to put a powder on their face and to pass around, and do all kinds of sneaky stuff, and that's about it. So we are not surprised at Kula's attitude to be mean and rude, when all she needed to do was just to update the country on the successes of the president's travel. But maybe it was the president that told her to go and say what she said. So reports coming in says the president signed the AML MDA, Asilometer Mineral Development Agreement, was signed by the president while he was out of the country in Paris. And that is the reason why the president left the country. So Kula then did not want to say that. He started cussing, saying that you don't expect the president to pull money in bed and bring it and start sharing it in the country. Yeah, I said, oh, what the president going to there? I think he's being rude. And the president said the simple reason he did it because he wanted to secure the US 200 million signature bonus. So Asilometer posts on 200 million there. And Jada, when you go catch a fish, the bait, and that you can pull on the hook to throw it there. And what can call it. So they put the 200 million, say when your son 18 years, so you son there 200 million for you. Just the son. So what are the deal good though? And go what Nima Po crying, they ain't crying at the business. What else Senator Yantoine been passing around whole day talking like a business. But that 200 million, but I saw it, man, John went Paris. Finish on it. So they rescue that for their pockets. Oh la la. And so we have gotten small information about the mysterious Foya Villa, 10 million Foya Villa. And the Liberian investigator have launched. Her launch is a month-long investigative to uncover credible indication as to links and connection with the Foya mysterious presidential villa. And it will amaze you to know that all of the narratives, whether from the cycle of the Unity Party, the president, the Ministry of Information, the COS, the other bar players that can be passing on the street lying, they say, oh, that's Sylvester Grisby, or they're trying to surprise the president. Look at that childishness. So because the man died, they're putting all the things on Sylvester Grisby. But look, we have something for you. We've told you that we always try to cook everything, get the facts around things to come. So, but enough fini. There are plenty of narrative around this Lofa Villa. When you're here, you put your hand on your ear. Say, oh, the country finished. Like, bro, oh, the country finished. They old man, but look, man, very, very seriously, this is where we are. So, some of what's captured in the papers this morning, front page Africa newspaper, banner headline: Ivanhoe Atlantic HPX in a sea on the photograph. The Guinean junta leader Mamadi Doumbouya, accompanied by Joseph Newman Boaka of Liberia. That seems to be an interesting story that you want to grab a copy to get the details of that right here in the front page Africa newspaper. Experts question Liberia's deal with Ivanhoe as legal bilateral gaps surface. Is CAA compliant with Liberia Guinea implementation agreement? Is the question mark, ends in the question mark. And Doumbouya is militarily dressed, seated with his beret, and of course we have our old man here, right here, with his red necktie and his face. I think, I'm not sure if there was any application of makeup on this other picture. I think that the present natural picture here. But grab the front page Africa, still on the front page. How the political elite consumed Liberia's 2026 spending plan, a budget for the privileged, question mark. In the photograph, we see the Prayer Ben Finance Minister Augustine P. Gaffon standing right here in an all blue African attire, along with the Bo speaker, regime speaker, Richard Nangwekun. I don't know how the Richard Nangwekun man can be dressed. He make him look at how the man pull wear it cool. You know, that a regular stuff, man. Yeah, man. It can't even pull tie. You know, man looks so very informal. But anyway, that's the regime speaker. So they're both here holding the budget book. And there's a secret to this. You know, the budget was symbolically, I like to put it, submitted on Friday. But trust me, it was an empty sheet, right? In fact, it was submitted without the budget note. They have not completed anything, but because the president said that they were going to submit on Friday, but they were not even ready. So Gaffon just collected plenty empty sheet into the cover page of the budget and pull it on it and staple it and go stand from both speaker. And that's what I'm telling you. Serious thing. I'm telling you, this is what they did, right? Since that Friday, they have been busy at the Ministry of Finance trying to complete the budget. So the actual submission of the budget will happen. So everything you saw happening on Friday was just, just to meet up and say, oh yeah, we finished submitting the budget. But technically, they have not submitted the budget yet. They're still working on the budget. But anyway, the numbers are out, right? Some of the numbers are out. That's what it is right here. So let's see with other papers as well. Then you have the Liberian investigator, Turkish behind secret presidential villa. Grab a copy of the Liberian investigator right here. You see the president photo as well as the different parts of the villa. When you all see inside the villa, not small thing there. What? The old man when he retire, not small enjoyment when enjoy. You guys see the thing that the man pull inside the villa. That one you can see outside the villa, that joke inside. Man play, right? So this report is saying that the Turkish are behind this, but we read the details so that we know exactly. Draft budget signals big shift, with over 96% of the 1.2 billion proposed spending budget of the Liberian government towards recurring expenditure. Fat increases in the speaker's budget, the president's budget, and of course other executive officials of the Unity Party regime's budget. That's how they are intending to divide the nation's cake. Pressing for 18.1 million settlement. Okay, but let's move quick. Boaka signed AML MDA is also here. Then Verity newspaper, looted LEC in quotation. GAC audit reveals over US 61 million in procurement without evidence. Money Captain is right here. And of course, the next story is legacy at risk. Also in quotation, Dr. Paley warns Liberia against aiding U.S. deportation. Raphael Paley has slammed the Liberian government and, of course, the president on his decision to accept the deportation of a notorious gang criminal that's scheduled to be returned to Liberia and all of that. So, folks, the shipping size of the conversation this morning. My name is Abu, and of course, as always, hey guys here for the conversation up to 10 o'clock. Hey guys, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Abu. It's good to be back here. Let me say good morning to our audience. We are back together, like we promised you during the course of last week. We are here to talk the Liberian people talk and ensure that we can speak on national or critical national issues that bother us on the development of our country. So just too many things to talk about. And as always, we are here and grateful to God for the gift of life. And Abu and I are going to run you through up to 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay, most definitely. So today is Monday. The cash giveaway is here. Last week, we actually never had a beautiful experience with the cash giveaway. We hope we can make it better this week. So grab your phone. Make sure you have at least $50 Liberian on it. I think there's a little internet glitch, but just keep it *255 *1#. Once the system goes through, then I mean we are good, right there. So that's what it is. This morning, somebody say not easy. The Dumbuya and Bwakai, someone a bossing match gonna create the whole thing. We'll put Dumbuya and Bwakai in the ring. How you go sign one contract with the man, he come by signing another contract on the other side, and I don't that. But we'll find time to talk about that. And of course, the whole budget debate, we'll take our own time. We'll still reviewing the budget and putting our own notes together on how to engage it. We just don't want to jump into it. It's ambitious, and of course, imagine an 800 plus million budget with all of the challenges that were experienced in the course of 2025. The government is saying relying on all kinds of things. They say they can raise $1.2 billion, and it sounds big, but again, what are the revenue screens that have been identified? What are the new revenue channels? So that's how we're evaluating the proposal. And of course, we will speak to our audience and of course our followers, fans, and the Liberian people in general on the feasibility of the numbers and of course the realistic nature of the government's proposal and all of that. So that's what we would do. So we'll take our time painstakingly, but I'm very sure before the close of the week we will definitely have something for you to talk about that. There have been a lot of critical reactions to the budget, which we're also reviewing and looking at. But at this point, we will reserve our comments until we conclude our individual respective review and of course note taking on the figures, the numbers, the interpretation, and of course the motivations around these numbers and projections. That's that. Higa, how was your weekend?
Not the better weekend I would pray for. But God has always been in control, and He continues to be in control. We are grateful for the gift of life, and we believe that once there is life, there is hope, and we continue to push forward to ensure that the best is achieved in life.
Somebody was gossiping. I said, "But it's not possible." I said, "There's got to be a gossip because if I anything, I will know first before the person are telling me, say, oh, your man, you got planning to engage you." I say, you got planning to engage? So that's true?
Yeah, the thing about you is, two of us practice the same thing. We're doing the same journalism. So you can't use journalistic tactics. Thinking that gossip? Gotta keep it as it is, right? That gossip. So
and the opportunity to confirm the gossip.
No, so
just say no. They're not you.
No, so the fight is somebody gossip to you, right? Let's just keep it as it is until we can do our own investigation to uncover the real.
So no comment.
No comment. I reserve all comments to that.
But anyway, this thing can happen. But maybe the man. I think what we can say is that Higa has initiated some sort of conversation.
Okay.
But how far he has gone.
Okay.
So
in your capacity as well.
But anyway.
So Abu is speaking his capacity as Abu Sharif. And in case of anything of such, we announced the official spokesperson that you expect you will be hearing all of the information from.
Okay.
So let's just keep everything that Abu said here today regarding what the conversation he has brought out.
So some of you that have been crushing on the man, or and you know, if you're not part of the conversation,
how can a little crush on an ugly guy like me? Very ugly guy who not get nothing for himself already. How can a little crush on me?
Just perfect girl.
Yeah, perfect. Now because me not get the man so. You can fly on tall.
So what you want to tell me?
Nothing you gonna tell me. I'm not 11, but I'm 11. But it's good to be back here.
Yeah,
folks.
actually. But this is it. Anyway, folks, this is coming from the management of Freedom FM, and of course, we'd like to inform our dear listeners and friends that our 9th anniversary celebration will this year be taking place in Lagoon, Niku Town, on the Gabla field. So for those of you, Niku Town, we are coming to your place. We are coming Niku Town. The last time we're in West Point, right?
Yeah, West Point.
Was it West Point?
Yeah, West Point.
Was it West Point? I don't know. I think
West Point. I think
Niku Town. No, I think this is the second time, right? Out there we're going to Niku Town. So I mean Niku Town. Yeah, but anyway, we're coming back again to Niku Town. We want to keep engaging our people, engaging our base, and in subsequent time we'll move out. We'll come as far as Ralphie Highway because we have our followers all there. There are people everywhere in the country that want to see or they want to interact with Freedom FM, and so the anniversary is an opportunity where we actually open our doors and have our followers, because you all are the backbone of the work we do here. And all of that to come around and be a part, allow your voices to be heard. I was hearing, I do not have a whole details from the organizers yet, but I was hearing that there's going to be an open mic session where, you know, all of these things, but it's going to be fun. I think the whole idea behind this year's anniversary celebration is to put our listeners and fans in charge. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. And I believe subsequently, Mr. Wendell Nimne, or if you may, Oliver Khan will speak the details to these things. But it's important just to let you know that the venue for this year, Freedom FM 9th anniversary celebration, is in Niku Town, Lagoon to be specific. So we see you there, right? On the 16th, right?
Mm-hmm. On the 16th.
We'll see you there. We're going to be there. For those of you that play football, we're going to be there. For me, I'm a prolific goal scorer. I think since AB left, I'm the higher goal scorer for Freedom FM now.
Says who?
Arguable. Since AB went left, I'm the higher goal scorer. You get goal, you don't score for Freedom. But, so you buy your own inside. So let Khan and Austin can argue. When they can say anything because when they can be in the defense, you know. So most of the golden can concede that from within side can pass. So we're trying to work on that one. We're trying to work on that one so that this.
And the worst thing is when there is Manchester United man, Abu that Manchester United man. So if you want to trust Abu, you trust in Abu at your own risk.
Look at the last time
when it comes to the issue of football.
Look at the last time we went Cloud Tower, man. See the goal at school, man. In a FIFA, la Puskas.
Abu go. All the goals Abu can score.
Then when Niku Town the other time again.
You can never see Abu go on record.
This year we gotta get camera over the games.
Okay.
And
I'll be the cameraman.
Yeah. No, you
I will sustain the if of the game, so I'll be the cameraman. But Abu, let me officially welcome in country Mr. Anthony Kuyumba. He's a very ardent follower of Freedom Morning Rise, and in fact the Freedom Radio in general. He's a very ardent follower.
Yeah, but he likes the Freedom Morning Rise.
Yeah, he likes the Freedom Morning. Yeah, he so much love it.
in the whole family, you
Yeah.
get the
You get the
universal
child that
set,
you let- yeah,
you get a
yeah.
universal set, then
Yeah.
you get a subset.
You get a subset.
So we are subset,
subset
A.
of yeah.
So you get
So-
subset A, subset B,
B.
and subset C. Subset B that Karen show and C
Yeah.
that Austin show.
Yeah.
So the man is an ardent and religious follower, just as many other people
Yeah.
of subset A of Freedom FM. But he's a general follower of the universal
Yeah.
set.
So let's say good morning to you, Mr. Anthony Kuyongba, and welcome in country. We hope we can meet to compare some notes. Now that you're here, what we did not do on you've always wanted to have a say on critical national issues via the telephone, but it's good that you're here now and we can have this
it can be
in-person
in-person.
interview. So we hear from you. You've been out of the country. You followed the past government, the current government. We can weigh in on other critical national issues. So, but officially, on behalf of the Freedom Money Ras team, we want to say good morning and welcome to Liberia. That's you, Mr. Anthony Kuyongba. Thank you. We hope that you can enjoy your stay here in Liberia.
All right, so that special welcome. So you must just know.
That's why we see.
The way he got doing the welcome, you will know.
I the way your problem. So what's really your problem is? So you just want us to run away from Manchester United blunder over the weekend. So you think you can always try to hold me?
5 games on the video, is a blunder.
5 games on the video. You go sit out. You go sit out picking and run me yesterday.
No, the last 5 games.
Do not forget about Baga. We don't think about Baga. Barcelona won like you 4-2 last night.
Let's talk about let's go. So, folks, we're back. So let's get to business. Your mind, guy, and let us bring the day will bounce by. You'll be saying, "Oh, they can team for me, but no problem." So here's the thing, folks. I know we all are very aware that things have been very difficult in the country, and the government has been under immense pressure to deliver, even on the slightest of expectation from its ardent and, of course, supporters. That the government has equally failed. And then in the face of the president's latest travel, which we were the very first to break on this radio, right? We told you that the president was traveling to these countries and that it was empty again. He was going to travel with a huge dedication, which he did. So the president never proves us wrong. So Liberians said, okay, this is a moment to put our focus on the travel of the president, see what the president will, eventually come with. So we spend time to understand, and, everything. The president came. So preparing for the president's return, we saw the Asset Recovery Task Force release a press statement, which we'll read, right? And subsequently call a press conference announcing what many will consider, whatever, just announcing names of people, and in fact, arresting people. The night of Thursday before Friday, homes of prominent Liberians were besieged by AFL, police, and other joint security members with gun-toting joint security officials were assigned to prominent. Let me give you the details and the backgrounds of some of this, and you just see all that arrest. So the government sent armed AFL personnel who are not supposed to be involved in civil matter like these, right? Overnight, the home of the MDMC CEO and others, Mrs. Sawyer and all the other people that were arrested, right? Thursday night, they caught them. They house arrest. I like to say that. What they put them on
a house arrest. Yeah.
So it was their lawyer that the break of dawn, and that's how they waited until they broke. Their lawyers went there so that everybody will see what happened. Because how do you go and carry people to somebody's house in the next so you go arrest? When would that happen? So they broke. Everybody started seeing, asset recovery working. But mind you now, this asset recovery of Clark Mountain, the record shows that so far the asset recovery team has jointly received pretty much around $2 million so far in budgetary support. But the record shows also that Mr. Clark Mountain and his team has not retrieved even $5 yet, but they have expended around or above $2 million from taxpayers' money. So, value for money. Questions and concerns have been raised around that in critical corners. And even the credibility, the legitimacy of Clark has been questioned in some cycle, and his prudence in exercising and doing the job. Because when we spend $2 million for something, then we bring $5 million here that issue. So these concerns were being raised, right? Plus other issues. That's how on that Friday morning we saw Clark Martin passing around, just throwing things out, and there's a whole list of I don't know how many persons here to be seen as working. There are a few things to consider before we start to play. I send you all the stuff. There are a few things to consider, right? What is an asset recovery task force or institutions meant for? What are they supposed to be doing? And what are they supposed to be reporting? It's important. These are critical, sober-minded investigator and, of course, forensic investigators that will take time to thoroughly investigate, right? Individuals, public officials, and of course, private that have been given public money or resources to do particular job. And then these people will be investigated to identify assets that are believed to have been, probably gotten recovered, or contracts that were entrusted with them and not fulfilled, they redirected and all of that. So when the asset recovery manages to establish that, the asset recovery now will be telling us as a country that after all of our due diligence, we can now report to you that the asset recovery has, as of the 8th of November 2025, has identified and in the process of recovering, right, 1 million United States dollars believed to have been siphoned from the public covers from the period X to Z. When you do that, then people know you're responsible, you're systematic, and you're objective. Now, or you say, we have identified property X, Y, and Z, and all of our investigation and judicial processes have clearly validated that these are properties that were gotten out of proceeds from contracts that government did, government that, blah, blah, blah. So the asset recovery has moved swiftly as of this date to seize and return this property to the Liberian government. That is victory for the asset recovery. That's how an asset recovery works. When you read about the asset recovery in Nigeria, they'll be telling you about the assets that were recovered. They'll be giving you update. They will not be telling you about, arrest that was sent out. So the success of an asset recovery, what justifies value for money is not the number of arrest warrants or rate of arrest that you put out there, because sending out a rate of arrest is not a conclusion that indeed these people are guilty or what you're saying the claim is. So your job is to painstakingly, apolitically investigate these things, get everything, and say, government of Liberia, please move in to take the property because everything is done, everything is set, and this is where we are. You're not telling us that. But you say, oh, you'll go bring the people. Then the people will come down, they will give us evidence. Then when they give us evidence, then that the evidence we'll use now before we'll go to the property. That thing makes sense. I'm not a lawyer, right? I'm not pretending to be one. But how we finish giving Clark Martin and his team $2 million, for example. Clark Martin and his team use the $2 million for almost 2 years, and then they tell us, say, we need these people. So Liberian government, the Ministry of Justice and other people, the police and the AFL, won't arrest people. When finish arresting them, will bring them in. Then they will bring the evidence now. That evidence will tell whether yes, that true the money here that Liberian put money. Then before we will take it. What kind of asset recovery works like that?
But the first thing is, Abu, in a case of such, what first the asset recovery team is supposed to be doing, if you identify the Hager, for example, did some transaction that you think are questionable, the best you do vote of politics is firstly invite Hager for questioning. If you invite Hager refuses to come for your come for your investigation. Then from there you got issue, or you got reason that you can use the police or the state security to go after Hager. But in this case, because it is clear that the guys there are not even informed, they don't even know what they want, so they will just come up out of perception. They just come up and give out figures. And I said this the last time, many of the actions that are being exhibited by this government will have some negative trickle-down effect on incoming government. You know why? These people that you are maligning their character, you are bringing to public ridicule. These people reserve the right tomorrow to sue the government for damage. What happens if Bwaka is no longer president, when Clark Martin is no longer the head of asset recovery? So you just said because of now the thing is the real thing. Bwaka traveled, he did not come back with nothing. Traveled to France, traveled to the UAE. So as a way of swerving the public attention, they always bringing out issues. That's how you see they are bringing this late years, because now they feel like it will take the public attention from the president's travel. It will bring it to the quote-unquote asset recovery. That's always the case, even involving the police. Whenever they see that Councillor how you call the former speaker, Councillor Kofa, is trying to give them more help, then the police will come up to say they want to reinforce that quote-unquote arson case. So what has been the step followed by the asset recovery team? Were those individuals invited and they refused to appear before the asset recovery team? Or the asset recovery team, out of political showmanship, they yet decided, these people, they are criminals, that go after them. What happens if tomorrow you are unable to prove your allegation beyond all reasonable doubts? What happened?
No, they really don't care about that. If you look at the stuff, Hager, the concentration is now on the merit or the substance of the allegations. The allegations just have to be made. So people collect the common allegations, right? Understanding that the supporters and the support base of the Unity Party who want to hear and like to hear names, associated, like Finda, for them, it cut the shots for them, right? Let's see what we witness upon the pronouncement of a rate of arrest for Finda Bono, for example. Dependable nephew made unprecedentedly in the space of 1 hour about 10 to 15 different posts. And so you see, that's what excited their base, because this guy was the loudmouth throwing all of the false accusations around the place. So for him, it is a validation of his false claim when his government is seen as, arresting or going after Finda Bono, going after Koji. Then say, NC, I told you, right? NC, I told you. But at the end of the day, whether what you're taking to court is prosecutable or not, can be prosecuted or not, you don't care. So you're wasting taxpayers' money. So the nation has reached a point where institutions that are supposed to be objectively, exercising their functions are no longer operating on the basis of the law, but rather by the whims and caprice of political supporters and all of that. So it's troubling. And a lot of pundits have said this is equated to a cartoon, charge that these people are going to go to court and it's going to be thrown out. They're going to walk free. Now, this takes us to the Gracious Rod issue. A lot of noise were made about the Gracious Rod. Talk about it, blah 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 blah. Felt like everything was inside. The very Clement came by and said, "Oh, the Gracious Rod thing that small issue, that not nothing." But mind you, it is today that they're saying the Gracious Rod issue that small matter, they're not going for it. But then they painted a picture to you that this lady has stolen Liberian people money and were buying taxi and giving it out. So they ashamed to say, "Oh, we are dropping the case," but we're trying to say, "Oh, we're leaving it, we're going for other things." So you display picture of I don't know, 6-unit complex in offense. Then you put on a Finabondo estate. We're not saying anything. Okay, let's agree it's Finabondo estate. Now the question becomes, what do you have that clearly link, the source of funding for that estate to a stolen wealth? Because Clementine was equally talking about money laundering. I don't know whether it's also the prerogative of the asset recovery to investigate or report on money laundering issues. Then what becomes of the Financial Intelligence Agency, the FIA, right? How come the FIA, in all of its annual report, have not indicted any of these individuals for money laundering? But Clementine is from the blue telling us that they're money laundering. So this is bringing into question the FIA. And the leadership of the FIA should see this very, very important, and they should be able to speak, because they have been trained, they have been empowered, they've been financed, they've been supported, and resources are being invested into the FIA to guard and protect the financial space of our country. Liberia. So for the FIA to be there, unable to uncover these grave allegations, and then it takes an irregular task force, an unconstitutional task force, just an executive order task force to come and tell us, oh, they're money laundering. So what capacity the task force has, and then the whole institution of the FIA does not, to be able to determine money laundering. So we have to be a country that follows details, not just the surface. People make pronouncement, or because we don't like certain people, we clap for it. Like Hagar said very well, what happens tomorrow when the table turns? Are you equally going to celebrate or clap for frivolous allegations and charges? Politicians, ill-intentioned politicians, will use that your hateful sentiment to always lie and make their way through. So they know that you just want to hear Finabondo name, so they will throw it out, not focus on the substance. They keep you busy with that while they're doing other things. And they're not actually serious about pressing charges on Finabondo and other people, because they know what they have is not something that can really get them anything. But it's a sense that's what the people want to hear and want to use as a yardstick to grade our performance, so we throw it out and put it out there. So let's hear the man, Clemente. Yeah, he didn't even know the reporter name. He called him Diamond. Yeah, that Diamond. I didn't know the metal. So this is Clark. It feels like he knows what he's doing, but actually he does not know, right? He called the man Daniel. Diamond, Daniel. Okay, folks. So you listen to the asset recovery head, Councilor Clarmonting, right? Fine, well spoken. But the thing is, this is just an executive order task force. So we're not all of the requisite prosecutorial authority to go ahead with certain degree of uh, so now they have to work in consonance with the Ministry of Justice. So everything they do, they have to work, and then the Ministry of Justice uses that authority now to go and act and do some things and all of that. So don't mind him. Probably he's not even aware of that, but that's how it works, right? So now we're hearing unconfirmed that what we witnessed was not fully, wholly, and solely supported by trying to just demonstrate, since the pressure is too much on him, that the government has given you too much and you're not seeing, you're not doing anything. So he just had to do something. And then the fact that there are very angry people in the government, and there are some people who want to use the CDC to scapegoat the excesses of what is happening today. So you say, oh yeah, give him all of the necessary people, so you'll go there and do it. Knee jerk, absolutely knee jerk. But that is for them to talk among themselves within. We have begun receiving sharp responses already to this whole thing. And an instant case is the case involving the folks that were arrested from the MDMC in connection to the renovation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs complex, right? There was a contract entered into between the government of Liberia, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right, and the MDMC construction company that got inherited by this government. And since, right? So I have a copy of a letter that was written by the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia in relation to the same case, to tell you clearly that Clarmonting is not even aware of what he's doing. He's just going out there and doing anything. But it's up to you if you can fall for it. If your issue is just to have an anti-CDC sentiment and justify everything for you in the country, fine, fair enough. You say, everybody got to use everything that make them happy. And my business is not to stop people happiness. If for you, the only thing that is good for you, that makes you happy, that makes you feel accomplished, and you think the future of your grandchildren are guaranteed and everything is okay, is when you hear news about a situation about CDC, then people like you can take Clarmonting serious and use him for your pleasure, right? But those of us that are particular, right, about what we want and how we want the country to be governed, right? We'll take our time to go underneath and dig out and understand what is actually going on. In the instant case, right, with the MDMC and of course the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where Clarmonting say money laundering or imposing money laundering charging, and even went ahead to instruct the government of Liberia to cancel all contracts between the government of Liberia and the MDMC company. This Clarmonting man, who has not succeeded in even establishing a plastic, say that plastic bear water, what we used to say? I used to call it, say, yeah, what we used to put the water in the plastic bear, put S on it and say, they won't successfully, he have not even established that for children to be selling it for him. Least to talk about establishing a business or company for other Liberians to work. This man is proposing that another Liberian should be denied that all his contract with the government of Liberia, even though he has not gone to court to find this man guilty of anything he has levied on this man or on this company, but this man is saying the government of Liberia should cancel all the contracts. So you see the premeditated position, the preconceived position. So you see the motive behind where this whole asset recovery thing was. It's kind of driving at. You see where we are. We're in serious trouble, and this is absolutely terrible. And now you're wondering why these people are rewarding millions, hundreds of $1 million contract to foreigners, Sierra Leoneans and others, because I think it seems clear that the goal of this government or elements within the government is to take Liberians from job. The envy and jealousy is too much that successful Liberians are being targeted. Right? The case you own, you finish with it. Then you say, by virtue of the innuendos that you're putting out, the gibberish that you're putting out, rested on that, the government of Liberia should cancel all the contracts. So that means the Freeport, the bridge-to-bridge contract should be canceled, and every other thing that the government of Liberia got to do with MDMC should be canceled. Are you kidding me? Does that make sense? Why? Is that motive? Do you have a sentiment against MDMC or Mr. Uboti? You are manifesting the partisan nature of your action. That's what you're clearly manifesting, because critical minds will start to ask, right? Here's what the Attorney General wrote. I'm going to read. For those of you that are friends with us, we posted it on our page. You can check it out. So, on December 24, 2024, this letter was written to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in response to an inquiry that the ministry has, or an investigation that the ministry has asked the Attorney General Office or the Ministry of Justice to conduct on this particular contract. Reference. Say legal advice on Ministry of Foreign Affairs and MDMC Civil Works contract. 1. Factual summary. On December 9, 2024, the Ministry of Justice, MOJ, received a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dated November 28, 2024, under your signature as Minister of MOFA, requesting that MOJ review and proffer advice on a civil work contract executed between MOFA and MDMC Express Incorporated. The MOFA and MDMC entered into a civil work contract on September 12, 2023, having a duration of 3 months, commencing from the date of execution. The subject contract requires MDMC to undertake civil works and or renovation on MOFA's 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st floors, basement, as well as perform pavement works with a total value of $1,949,999 United States dollars. The project was funded by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The civil work project was to be implemented in 3 segments as follows. Listen. Now, the way the contract was designed, when first segment finish, you pull in for your payment, they pay. Second, you pull in, as a payment. So it happened by the time the government came, payments have been made. So there was a balance payment that needed to be made that MDMC made request for, and the Joseph Boakai people did not want to pay the people money, and they said the way they got the contract and started bringing all kinds of things or trying to strangulate the people's business. 1. Say first first segment covering 5th, 4th, and ground floors for the cost of $779,990 United States dollars 80 cents, constituting 40% of the total contract price. Second segment covering first floor, second floor, and third floors for the cost of $682,000 excuse me, $82,499 United States dollars 90 cents, constituting 35% of the total contract price. Right? Then the third segment covering the basement and pavement works at the cost of $292,499 United States dollars $1,000,000.95, constituting 15% of the total contract price. The parties agree that 10% of the total contract price in the amount of $194,999.97 will be retained for a period of 3 months to cure defects during the liability period, after which, and upon the issuance of a certificate of completion issued by MOFA, MDMC will be paid. To date, MDMC has been paid $1,462,499.78, representing payments for the first and second segment. Essentially, MOFA is troubled. MOFA is troubled that the original contract was improperly valued, right? Or improperly, say the original contract, let me get this, improperly varied by charge order. So they raised question with the original contract for additional works, which was approved by the former Deputy Minister for Administration, totaling $526,870 United States 24 cents, and thereby correspondingly increasing the total contract price by the same amount. Now, MDMC has reportedly completed the civil works after an additional of the duration that the past possession, as per the actually, was granted it, and now request payment from MOFA in the amount of $487,499 United States dollars 94 cents, representing the outstanding balance under the original contract, and $526,870 United States dollars 24 cents for the varied change order for additional works, aggregating to $1,014,370 United States dollars 18 cents. So the additional component, the past possession, right, that was added, plus the remaining payment from the first 3 segments that they completed, right, sum up to that. So when the current government started raising issue, so the people requested, okay, pay us the balance money from the other areas, from the old contract that we already completed, that which they do not want to pay, and that's how they asked for this investigation. So let's come to count 2 of the Ministry of Justice investigation process. Folks, we're getting somewhere, so that we understand and know that this country has to be governed by law, procedure, and processes, not by people feeling. You don't have to like people who work in CDC. You don't have to like sedition, and you don't have to necessarily agree with everything. But what the law requires, what the papers, what's on the book, you must be responsible as a government to execute it. Because when you equally leave power, you will leave liabilities on the book that other successive governments should come and adhere to, because we're running a country here. But for you to come to power and try to illegitimize everything that happened and use that as a basis to deny people the legit payment, right? Even though people with the constitutional authority then sign on to these things, and then it is an issue. To a point where even Liberian businesses that supply motorcycle, I'm told Masako, that Kisi fellow around 72nd, right, is being held. Is that the motorcycle that were bought from him, that the government will borrow money? And then my thing is, what purpose was it bought for? This motorcycle that you used to see some given to county inspector, teachers, and other people, right? As I recall, say they're going hold the message that. So what are you saying, right? Are you trying to question that the government that was in place, was not a government that's supposed to act and take decisions. So they just threw a band there and leave everything. Because if you say you will hold everybody for every contract the government signed, and this is where witch hunt comes in. And then you see the small beginning that didn't go to school, that taking film and doing blogging for the government, want to be like talking nonsense. Right? So now, this is where we are. Let's come to the documents and instruments reviewed. So the Ministry of Justice says these are the basic documents that we have to review to authenticate and establish what our conclusions and opinion will be in this matter. 1. In the rendering of this advice, we review the following documents or instruments. 1. The September 12, 2023 civil work contract execution or executed between MOFA and MDMC. 2. Numerous communication and exchanges between MOFA and MDMC contained in a voluminous file submitted by MOFA. 3. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. 4. Executive Law, Title 12, Liberal Code of Laws, Association Laws, 1976 Liberal Code of Law revised, and 6. Other laws extant. This is the degree of scrutiny that the contract had to go through. The very contract that Clark Martin just woke up from the blue trying to justify $2 million that he has eaten, and you will be held accountable, my friend. Right? You will get account for that money. And Martin Colley is already on record of saying that you people were stealing the country money. Right? So wait, be cooking your own. So these were the documents revised to scrutinize the contract. Number 3, country observations. So based on our analysis of the facts, instruments review, the following observations are made. 1. A legally binding contract was executed by MOFA and MDMC, pursuant to which MDMC has performed some work. So what is the cause of this observation? A legally binding. So that means the contract is clear, it's legal, and is binding on the government of Liberia and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So basically you have substantial amount as a consequence of works performed under the subject civil work contract. Agreed. So I mean the government of Liberia, understanding the binding nature of the contract, have paid significantly for the work performed. 3. MDMC reportedly performed works beyond the original civil work contract. The addition we talk about, the other the past possession and other additions that were requested, right? So in the observation of the Ministry of Justice, they established all of the claims of the MDMC to be legit and legal. Come 4. Key questions presented from the facts and observation. Whether or not MDMC is entitled to the $1,014,370 United States dollars 18 cents being requested, constituting the outstanding balance of civil works contract and the cost for the varied charge orders for additional works. So that is the key question. So what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs sought to know was whether it was legal for them to pay that money to MDMC, since they have that or the legality of the contract and the processes and procedures. Now, listen to the opinion and analysis of the Ministry of Justice or the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, advising an executive officer, an officer of the executive, a man representing the president. So the Ministry of Justice, part of its function is to advise the executive on legal matters. So this was the opinion of the Attorney General to the asset recovery, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in regards to this same contract. After a careful review of the laws, facts, observations, and discussions had, as well as circumstances presented, we conclude that MDMC is justifiably entitled to the outstanding balance of the $487,499 United States dollars 94 cents provided for under the mutually executed contract. We are imploring the MOFA to pursue diligent efforts to pay said amount since the reported works have fully been completed. So what did you arrest John Yuboti for? What did you embarrass a consummate Liberian entrepreneur? What kind of country are we that we disgrace, demean, and bully our successful sons and daughters only because of petty politics? Let your own Attorney General statement here. Validating clearly, that's the opinion. Then you send a man simply because there are elements within the United Party who say, oh, the man exercising his constitutional right is treasurer of the CDC. So that means in your country, everything he has earned, the government must work to destroy it. This is the mindset. This is the approach. And this brings question to the integrity of the government's asset recovery exercises. This man is looking for government assets to recover. There is a $10 million mysterious asset lying down in the forest of Foya that this man has not developed the courage to go in because that mysterious property now, and bring back to the government and give it to the government. But this man is going after responsible people. This is blackmailing. This is bad. We can't be doing this thing to our own. Because when you sat there as a president, the day you leave, other people come there. Then what will you have to say? So let's hear Hagar on this. The Anita group of company thing will reach out to them once they give us their own details. We'll certainly. But what I've also been told is that whatever. So they're using the money to attract you and confuse you and create something. But the question has to be, whatever Anita Group was contracted for, right? Did they execute that? Was the contract executed? Did the Ministry of National Defense raise issues, right, about it? Right? Did the Ministry of National Defense complain that this money was just put there, but the people did not do what they're supposed to do? They did not supply the feeding. They did not do this. Like, when these are the details that we have to ask. Instead of people wearing political garments, using taxpayers' money, calling press conference, and blackmailing other citizens in this country simply because of political correctness, and we are clapping. Mind you, United Party will not be in power forever, right? As you're clapping for the unjustified and of course arbitrary arrest of other people's parents, tomorrow when your parents are not there, don't cry foul. These are the precedents that's been set, and it's terrible. We can't run a country like that. We as the people have to demand our government to be more responsible, because we all support the call for accountability and that everybody must give account of every cent and dollars that they have earned while in public service. But in order to do that, the government will have to painstakingly, responsibly approach the process in convincing ways. But when you go ahead and just announce money, 6 million. So do you know what it will cost to supply the Ministry of National Defense and all of the barracks in the country, or whatever Anita was hired for? And you see, so you say now in one lay room, you see the people, oh, Anita Group of Company for Finabondo daughter, $6 million. Your whole hair rise, right? But when you do the breakdown of the budget on whatever the contract terms was and the requirements were, they are not telling you that one. They're only telling you that $6 million, was transferred to Anita, blah, blah, blah. But they're not telling you that there was a contract between Anita and the government of Liberia through the Ministry of National Defense, right? And they are not giving you update on the status or the implementation of that contract. They're not telling you anything, but they just want to get you to, and just follow the bandwagon of saying, oh, CDC people stole, and these things don't answer. That's not how the code works.
So I would just like to conclude just from where you ended as well. So the asset recovery team has failed to give us detailed information regarding this entire indictment. Mind you, the individual that is all the individuals whose company name is being used or institution name is being used is a Liberian citizen. And we are here always talking about the Liberianization policy. We are here always talking about supporting Liberian-owned businesses. Now, let's do away with this name of Finabono daughter and see her as a Liberian. Now, like Abu said, what was the money in question that was allegedly sent to her account? What was the money sent to her account for? Let's establish that first as Liberians. Was it sent for her to keep, or was it sent there for her to perform a particular task that money is supposed to be used for? If it was sent for her to keep, we get to do another investigation on that. If it was sent there to be used to perform a particular task, then we get to another point to do an investigation to understand. And the asset recovery team supposed to be filling us in with all of these informations. We have to know firstly, if it was sent there for it to be used to perform a particular task, was that task performed? Was the tax for which the money was sent there, was it performed? Let's forget about Finabono Doro. Finabono Doro $6 million that was sent, or 800 million was sent. Let's forget about that one. Let's talk about why the money was sent. Oh yeah, she's a Liberian. You can't deprive her of a right.
And was there a contract?
Was there a contract between the government and a force institution?
It can be whoever. Once
that's what I said, Abu. Let's do away with the name of Finabono daughter, right? Let's do away with that name. She could be one other youthful Liberian who feel like who got the opportunity and is innovative enough to form a company to perform tax, and she could be hired for that, like you over there. This government have the opportunity. Okay, so let's start to question now. Like we're talking about the government about to award $300+ million contract to a foreign company. Don't you think that company or that contract can be awarded to a Liberian company, and that Liberian company could better perform? That was in the case of this lady.
And they don't even want you to discuss that contract, even though that contract is fraudulent. What did Mo Ali posted about that contract? And then we'll take course and then prepare for our full year conversation.
I come here, Abu. So they are not talking about that. They are not in the position enough to make Liberian-owned businesses to grow. That is why you see the government awarding contracts to foreigners. This Unity Party government is prioritizing more foreigners than Liberians. So if this lady was hired to perform a particular task, or her company was hired to perform a particular task, let the asset recovery team be able to tell us that this amount of money was sent to this company for so and so purpose, and this tax for which the tax for which this money was sent, that wasn't performed. Then at that point, she's going to be answering questions for why the default. But not in the case of the asset recovery team. They just go ahead because they say, oh, $1 million, then Liberians buy into that, because the first thing is Fina was associated or is associated to George Weah, and their entire target is George Weah. So once you are associated to George Weah, you are close to George Weah, they see you as their target. That's the only way they will prove to Liberians that Weah was the worst kind of person the country ever experienced. Why can't we do away with all of these sentiments, the political sentiment, all of that, and try to move our country forward? 6 years of Liberia's existence was given to a particular group of individuals, and all they do is not to talk about how they are able to expand the healthcare sector of our country, the educational sector of our country. They are not able to speak about how they are able to connect roads, connect towns and villages. But all they do is go after individuals because of celebrating, because it is in our interest today. Tomorrow might come a time that it will be against your interest, but mind you, the precedence but then will be set. And when the precedence is being mentioned and it is not in your interest, then that's when you realize that all of what you've done were all waste. And at that point now, you get nowhere to go. They say escape from some people, you got nowhere to go. You will have to live with the reality. But the area is better, because when you sit today and you are able to think critically and at least question the don't be a bootlicker. Once you are able to question the government's action and you are able to bring the government to explain it to you, what's the intention of this entire thing, like, tomorrow is going to be another day where the precedent that you will set today, we could reference them. But today, since it's against your interest, or it is in Finabono case today, and you think like, oh, if Finabono are the people going after, you'll go after them. But mind you, the precedent is being set, and the precedent will be mentioned. When they say posterity will judge you, these are the things we talk about.
So these are very, unprecedented and disturbing ways to politic in the country. What it does is it keeps the country down and backward, because people have refused to think critically, and they're using hate as the yardstick to qualify every action. So for as long as this action serves, and the desire of purging my rival, that's okay. So what is it? Okay, Afinabon, CDC. Okay, yeah, that's true. So the ability to think critically and assess and wait and evaluate measured issues by standards and, of course, best practices are no longer happening in Liberia. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just get appointed, and he just wake up in the morning and open his mouth and says gibberish, and everybody falls for it and say that is law and gospel. This is nonsense. So what are we running? Are we running a country, or we are running some kind of Boy Scout? Boy Scout seems way more organized than what is happening, because there's standards and all of that, right? So if the standard was high, Clark Martin will not. He's doing a miserable job. Clark Edward Martin is doing a miserable job. And look, mind you, we're not defending nobody here. We're not defending Finda. We're not defending Uboti, nor any of the accused. But you know what? Mrs. Sawyer, husband, sacrificed and contributed a lot, even herself, to this country. So by the time the state is pursuing actions against people like these, it has to be based on real issues. And you cannot reduce such a people in such a manner and you expect that everybody sit down and clap their hands and say, because no, this is bad, right? There's a reason why people, will always put to certain level and they acquire certain privileges and all of that. But you take one Clark Martin and you set him somewhere who cannot justify all of the allegations against him and his colleagues, Safuni, and misapplying and misusing asset recovery money, right? That he has not answered to, right? He has not even investigated these allegations from members of his asset recovery, right? Emmanuel Gonkwe resigned with startling allegations. Martin Colley, another guy from the States also, right? 3 people. He has never investigated this matter to say anything. Does that man look transparent to you? Absolutely not, right? But he's basically playing to the whims of his a master's. And you can't run the country like that because another person will come and also put somebody there and will start to do that. And so we have a society of wage hunt. So what moral are we inculcating into our children? What are we teaching them? The kids are in school. The kids are reading now. They're exposed. They're on the internet. They're seeing these things. What are they saying? What kind of country are they going to inherit? Look at how the nation is being run. It's being governed. It's just terrible. And everybody jump, celebrate for 1 week. Oh, yeah, now call the pudding. Is that justice? Is that accountability? Is that what you want? Or you want people, you want to see the government taking judicial and, of course, practical action to seize property, seize, retrieve them, turn them over to the government. We see it. We go there, or we see the government returning millions back to the country. That's what the country should be celebrating. Not to just put a blackmailing list and defame other reputable citizens of the country to achieve and attain political objectives just for social media, for somebody to go say, oh, the government, is that how you measure for it against corruption? By blackmailing? But let's hear from you all out there. Let's take calls on 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Hagar, and good morning, Buddhist Barclay. I join you guys from McDonald Street.
Go ahead.
So, what you guys are discussing, the Unity Party is a hooligans. And the only way the hooligans can maintain their power or even get into power is by saying lies and this information about people. That's the only power of the Unity Party and the rescue agenda. Even the president, who is Joseph Mapoga, say a whole lot of things. Before coming to power, have you done or even made up to a promise?
Okay.
One of the promise.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for me.
Morning.
I'm Stephen Kaifa. I'm coming in from a 10th Street resident within Sinker.
Mr. Kaifa, go ahead.
I listened to you lengthily. There was this gentleman, Martin Colley. Once Martin Colley resigned from that place, he felt like he never want to be part of their corrupt scheme because they are all old politicians. They are way away. They just in the circle of the Unity Party to just destroy the image. So he resigned. Then there was a young guy also. So you see that those transparent young people are now waiting to work with Black Mountain because he is noted to be a targeted. He has reduced the asset recovery to be a targeted or person aiming to get a certain group of people that would satisfy the Joseph left worker and the full government.
Thank you very much.
The Liberia put $2 million was paid to you to just target a certain group of people.
Okay, thank you. 0776 104 104 86 500 104.
And there is another money in the 2026 proposal.
Walk away from your radio or I'll cut you off, please. Morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the trouble of gathering out my check up on Monday. I thank you for the trouble of discussion. The main people, the teachers you talk about Pilapono, people think that you can't be taking this woman, all permanent people, they will change the way to them. They buy into the nonsense. Most tradition or like they understand the very happiness will buy into the crap. They are aware we don't kill a woman with character. It's a very different woman. So nobody can lie down about you. So anything or anybody, they will dive into that. Tradition are aware, and we are prepared to murder a lot of Pilapono. Start off from the airport to the airport. It's really work away freely. Let's talk about the show to this country. Shout out to the people. It's flat in the head. We are aware and we are ready. Shout out to the people that people are going to killing us. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the fellow listener and good morning to your co-host.
Morning.
If you follow the history of Councilor Clamante, you know directly that he's an angry man. Why would Mr. President Barker use an angry man to recover assets? Have you asked yourself why Matthew Coney and other people resign on the asset recovery team? I think the asset recovery team need to recover on themselves before they start recovering assets. Because it was alleged that he was involved into some dubious eating the indicted money. And today they are breaking but even recommending to the president or the executive that they should not award any contract or the contract that NDSC should withdraw. But how far the country reached, and yesterday they were telling you he took my job and killed the boy. Who are behaving the boys? They are behaving the boys directly. Because when the boy will not go to court and do recommended prosecution for somebody.
Okay.
So we want to tell our people nobody should leave the asset recovery is a discussion. We want to ask some.
Let's talk to you here. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks to you guys in studio this morning for the fascinating topic. You know, everyone's saying the same thing, and they are right. But what I want to say, Mountain, he is very serious, and the government serious for corruption. When the past government was in power, these names they are going for were never the name people were shouting about here or politicizing for corruption. The very name they were using here are all around here, and they're not able to go for these people because they know there was all political stories. So we are telling our people to open their eyes. These political investigations are only there to brainwash us and think that unity party is okay. Because when they're already working, they must be proved again to her. Who times 16 and less billion loss, 25 million loss. They were right here, job, we have so money, pay houses. These are the things they must bring. They must leave those small people that never play with money. Thank you.
Thank you. 104 are the numbers. You can call us on right here and be a part of the conversation this morning on Freedom 87.9.
Let's take two more calls and then we transition to something else quickly on 0776 104 104.
Good morning, bro. Hey, guys. Bro, I'm in studio this morning.
Morning.
My name is Emma Hajar, and I'm joining from Banksy and Nimble intersection. This morning. Bro, hey, guys. Firstly, I want to say to the asset recovery thing that led under this government, everything they see that they are doing, for me, I just want to say to the public this morning, it's just a political games they try to play to get to former president we are. This whole thing of the idea they are putting here is that they want to make the world or the nations to know that we was corrupt or he's a government. I mean, just to blackmail him. So let me say to them, let we all think about how to move like we were forward to be more than other countries or like other countries tomorrow and to start pushing political rhetoric around here. Thank you for the time.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Finally, this person.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Sachi calling from Cuba.
Go ahead.
I just because of things, people just coming with money. You just getting money and this for the money Congress of Democratic students. We just get our money for the people. The fast coming, we just get it fast for them. They're going to get them. They got to pick up any shot. Stop on that. From 2005 all the way to 2008. We're coming to 2 years in the government. Why they can't come to us? They can't stop on us. We're coming to the government. But they can't stop. Get away in the middle of the water. I just started out. How to fight the corruption? How to set the business? No. Everybody's appreciating the thing they want to do. But you stop for one project. The Oma area in the position. She will what about it? They put my plea on. And they put the plea on. Then you stop on that side. Then you come away. In the middle of the man.
All right,
Thank you so kindly.
So that is exactly what it is. We can go talking about it, but what the underlying point is that the actions of the asset recovery remains questioned, and of course the integrity of the tax force execution remains questioned. Claremont will have to prove that what he's doing can lead Liberia to something meaningful. We can grab something out of it. I think the purpose of the asset recovery is for us to be counting recovered assets. right? For the accounting finances, money, that have been retrieved and all of that. So any asset recovery that cannot list the number of assets and of course read to us the quantum of money that they have retrieved is useless, right? Because it's useless for purpose. The purpose is to get this thing. So if you can, 2 years counting, nothing has been recovered, nothing has been retrieved. It still brings the asset recovery under question. So let's take this break with Crime Stopper Librarian. We'll come back, we'll talk issues, something else. The president is back in the country. It's important to remind him about the investigative or the court process with the Lofa University. You remember, right? The Lofa University, there was an investigation, a wild allegations against the president there who continued to brag in the county. And in fact, I'm told he's taking action now to temper with the recruitment exercise of jurors for the opening. The code is about the opening. I think today also, right? There's the code opening today. So the juror recruitment process has been tempered with, where students of the university he has penetrated, and those are the ones that are going to preside over the case. So others are raising serious issues, but it's good the president is here. After this, we'll talk about it briefly and consider other issues right here on Freedom 87.9. My name is Abu, and of course, hey guys, here as always. This break, we'll be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. But it can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, I mean you check. You wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, so that is that. Like we were saying, Mr. President, it's good that you're back in the country. And of course, like many of your supporters have made it seem, you've been taking actions on issues of economic malfeasance and all of that across government, and the different actions taken everywhere around the country. But why have you refused to take actions, to take preliminary administrative actions to safeguard the integrity of the investigation into the Lofa University corruption allegations around the president and other officials? Why have the president refused to take actions to preserve the integrity of the investigation and of course the integrity of the university and all of that? The president of the university stands accused hugely of mismanaging, misdirecting resources belonging to the the entity, the GSC report, the LSCC investigator and indicted this man. The indictments are out, and of course, it's scheduled for court hearings and all of those things. But this man still continue to preside. So critical minds, and of course, good governance, civil society advocates in Lofa and beyond have raised questions and have continued to send out pleas with the president to ensure that this man and others involved are recused of their positions to allow for the investigation to go out smoothly. Mr. President, what does this say? This is selective justice, right? You have a relationship with one other corrupt person, you say the other person will remain there. But when you see a publication on social media about another person, you go ahead and suspend those people. But the other man sits in Lofa and tell the people that Mr. Barker will not do anything to me because
the president,
and he believed that when the man, he believed that anything happened to him, it will be disgracing Barker himself. So those are the narratives in the county. And it's good that the president is back. But guess what? Since the president returned, he has not come out. He has been indoor.
Well, you remember he had to face some medical checkup there in the UAE.
So here's what I want to do, right? All of the medical thing, because the way the country getting on and getting too much. So even if you're trying to report authentically and people may say out all kinds of things, I'll leave it with the government. And I know at the appropriate time, they themselves will come and report about whether medical issue with the president or not. So we just have to leave it. We're not going to waste our time. So, but when the president is absent from the public glare for periods, it's important that we also let you know. Have you asked a question? Have you asked yourself why the president came overnight to the country? And when the president was brought in overnight in the country, we saw no photo, no video of the president.
Only the executive marshal.
Yeah, right. They had some reporters there. They asked some questions, managed everything, and all of that. And so, as I said, this question, since the president came by, it has been like 4 or 5 days now. He's just in, right? So it's important for us to know what is going on. So we'll be looking on the screen today and see whether the president report for work. So, fellow librarians, also, a challenge to you too. Yeah. Let's just check on the president. I don't know, but I'm just saying, let's just look out and make sure that, everything is okay, right? So while Mr. President is there, I hope Kula can take the radio beside him to ask him, remind him about Lofa, the Lofa University, right? The traditional people in Lofa too not happy, Mr. President. They say you went out there, you condemn their culture, you condemn the custom, the tradition their forebearers left with them. Condemn it and use unpleasant derogatory description of what they practice. So they're not happy. And I'm told they've been having series of meetings and all of that. So what is going to happen in return, I don't know, but let's wait and see. Now, so the president traveled. The question has been, what did the president, as usual, the president did not bring anything. And that's how you saw Kula became rude when she started the outburst about, the president not supposed to put money in the bag. You got to get that video, right?
I think I just followed it in passing.
The president, when the president travel, he's not supposed to put money in bag and bring it, blah, blah, blah. As soon as you start hearing that kind of responses, that anger. And you understand? People angry. When people angry and again, you have to loosely. So now, so that means actually the conversation is actually reaching home. The president is embarrassed that he has traveled for all those periods that he can't bring anything. So he's saying his lieutenant out to go and insult people. Because that is rude. That is demeaning. People ask him, President, what's on the success of the president trip? And I say, but the president sort of pull money in bag and be coming and be sharing the money. Have any librarian asked the president to share money on the airport? So the conversation you can just jump from here, you go start talking about labor. So the people can ask you, so Mr. President, they turn and you go talk about labor. So what thing happened inside? Because you are like a marketing agent. You go to market the goods, right? Which is labor. So as the goods you go sell. So the people say they will buy it or they not buy it. What didn't they say? Nothing. So you're a poor marketing agent. And that's what you have to agree to instead of misdirecting the people intent and trying to use it as an opportunity to insult them. Kula has been rude. She needs to be told. Now, so reports have it that while the president was away, particularly in Paris, and the trip to UAE was unofficial, was unplanned, was unofficial. Nothing about it was official. Just so you know. They will subsequently tell us why they go there, who carried them there, and what they were discussing there. And it was also cut short. They had to cut it short to rush the old man back. For what? I don't know. Probably they will tell us one day. So the president left the country, and it has been reported that the president went primarily to meet with executive of Acylometa to conclude arrangements and sign on Acylometa Tier Mineral Development Agreement. The signing process that have ignited wave of controversies and, of course, public rejections and stakeholders' disapproval, ranging from the counties to the villages to capital building, at intellectual centers, at public discourses, in civil society meetings and all of that. After thorough and careful review of the MDA and a review of the history of Acylometa in Liberia, many independent have said it is a lot more an unimpressive path to pursue or to continue with. Two things. It's either Acylometa agrees to adjust the agreement to fit with the demands of the Liberian population or the country, or Acylometa accept to close down and leave. Acylo has insisted. In fact, believing that they can shove this down the throat of the Liberian government. But mind you, during the era of the CDC government, they rejected this MDA, right? The record shows that the CDC rejected and told them to go and do it better. Unfortunately, the election happened, the CDC lost. When the United Party came, Acylo started bankrolling, helping them pay some salary for some months and all of that. So the conversation became immense. The president got invited to Acylometa Yekepa office. And as soon as the president entered the place, he said, "You're doing a marvelous job." Right? Right there, the man who go check on the people and go, and you know what you're supposed to go, demand more. He even entered Guye. He has not even gone to assess the neighborhood, and you know, the staffs and everything. The man left to the gate and tell the people, say, Naxan. From that day, I knew, say, we're finished. Say, done. So all the other thing has been happening. Senator of Nimba, Yan Twine, decided to stand with his people and say, for the sake of Nimba, this is not good. This is not healthy. While Sir Joseph and other people were driving weekend to go Yekepa to go collect what, I do not know. Unannounced, they jump. When they go cut pens down, they say that committee meeting. So they lead the whole capital building to go have committee meeting to Yekepa. You see how the post sell in the country. The next group of people, right, they carry them to Farmington. So these are all the things that's been happening. So carry some people to Yekepa, carry some lawmakers to Farmington, right? Then grab the president himself, carry him to Paris. Grab the president himself, took him to Paris, and this is what's coming out of Paris. Bouaka signs AML Tier MD8 secures US 200 million signature bonus. Hey guys, you want to put it on the screen so that people will follow through. We may not be able to read it all because of time. The MDA, I think that area. No, not the key issue. That one, that the issue that will come to say what Baka has ignored and he decided to do it. As an elaborate investigator, say Baka signs AML tear MDA secures US 200 million bonus. Right? So let me forward this quickly. Right? And these things, they're very, very important. These are the conversations that we ought to be having. These are the conversations that we ought to be having in this country. It's important because it's about the future. 25 years, another 25 years, when everybody say they think not good, you ain't change nothing, you bring it and still shove it down the throat of the Liberian people, and you still call this president a rescue president. President Joseph Nyeman Boakai has signed a revised mineral development agreement with ArcelorMittal Liberia, obligating the company to pay a 200 million signature bonus and invest approximately 1.2 billion to expand its mining and processing operations. The agreement signed Wednesday at the Executive Mansion now proceeds to the National Legislature for ratification. Under the revised agreement, ArcelorMittal will shift from exporting raw ore to producing processed iron ore in Liberia by building a modern concentration plant in Yekepa. This change is expected to increase the value, blah, 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 blah. These are the PR and all of that. So, you see, ArcelorMittal continue to be Liberia's top foreign investor. But the cost of this report is to let you know and put you in a position to understand that whatever qualms you have with the ArcelorMittal thing, people of Nimba, people of Bong, people of Bassa, your president has signed the agreement. Whatever condition you are in, whatever money going out, is up to you. Do we trust the legislature to ensure proper check and balance and oversight review of the process to return it to the president? I doubt. If the president can be taken to Paris to get him to Sundays with a promise of 200 million signature bonus, right? What more about our lawmakers who even 15K can make it for them? 10K can make it for them.
One pickup.
10K and one pickup can make it for them. You don't need 200 million for those guys in the legislature. You just need one pickup, Halo pickup. I don't know what our lawmakers see with Halo pickup. That Halo pickup will carry the men into their grave. They can sell the whole country for Halo pickup in 10,000 US. So this is where we are. That deal has been signed. Here you go.
So this is another opportunity for Liberians to say the game cry. Because, when you elect a bunch of crooks who only try to prioritize their personal well-being over the greater interest of the country, this is what you get. The president, knowing fully well that this ArcelorMittal deal is not in the best interest of Liberians. In fact, Abu, like you said, when the president left from here, he went. The president was not conscious enough, driving on the very deplorable road to the site of the company, of a multi-billion dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
The president drove on that deplorable road.
They had to reschedule
but
it going
But the only thing he could say is give the people Naksan, appreciate them, telling them they are doing excellent job. Now, it did not take long. Lawmakers left Montserrado and drove over there, all in the name of going to do what kind of investigation, until that was posted out by one of the senators. And now the president, if you really claim that the ArcelorMittal deal is in the interest of the people, Abu? Why you have to be flown from how you call it, from Monrovia to France and onward to the UAE, and then you come back under less than 72 hours, you've affixed your signature to such a deal? Why didn't you sit right at the executive mansion and sign this deal if you claim it was in, or it is in the interest of the common people?
But and then where the question is, so why you have to be taken to Paris?
Mayu, this is just how the story will end. And I'm saying this to you because if the president can be treated in such a form and manner, Mr. President will underwrite the cost for everything. The president basically did not go to France for any or serious matter conversation, Abu.
The president himself said it was not official.
Yes.
It was two other.
So the president did not go to France on any serious conversation. The president left and went to France on the invite of ArcelorMittal, who have wanted him to go there. So they sit and clandestinely have conversation on the expansion of the extension of the ArcelorMittal MDA. Now, the president went there. The conversation, whatever the conversation were like, the ones that happened behind closed door, we will not know about that. And then the president comes back, like I said, under less than 72 hours, he has signed. And Abu, like I was saying to you, this is just the end of a gingerbread ball. Because if you are depending on serious bunch of individuals seated over there that call themselves lawmakers, if you are depending on them to do the right thing, trust me, I am sorry for Senator Twine. He's going to cry wolf. Nothing is going to come from out of here because before even I have been over there, I know what happened the last time ArcelorMittal deal went over there. I have been there. Before even that deal can surface, before the speaker's office or before the speaker's desk, all of those lawmakers will receive their Toyota Hilux pickups.
But guess what?
Plus their small thing.
Right now, you know what's happening? These arrangements, these contracts no longer have to go on the floor anymore.
No.
You saw the one with the Sierra Leone company, right? Richard Kunja called a few people that are part of the RLJ, coup d'etat, called them in some kind of executive meeting, and that's how they passed that one and sent it to the Senate. If the Senate were not going to talk about that Sierra Leone rule project, $300 and some more $1 million contract, many folks were not going to know. So those are very terrible precedents and undertaking that's going on in the legislature. So you can't trust that place. But however, the question, you raise a profound question as to what did the president go to do in Paris and the UAE upon his return? In less than 24 hours or so, the president signs the MDA. What were guaranteed to the president in the UAE and Paris? Is it that there were assurances of the president's own personal interests, a guarantee of some level of equity, and so that whenever he's no longer there, what was said to the president impressively that he came the next day, he signed the agreement and sends it for ratification? These are the critical questions librarians need to be asking. Now, there are some key issues, right, that have leaked with regards to problems with the AML's amendment or the agreement that have been signed by the president today. And this is a draft, not exhaustive enough, but it summarizes through a series of carefully constructed legal provisions. The draft amendment effectively entrenched AML's monopolistic control over Liberia's rail and port infrastructure for another 25 years and constrained the government's ability to increase revenues and implement its stated policy of independent multi-user railway management under the National Rail Authority. So that means the whole National Rail Authority will be a scam, because you're surrendering and agreeing with AML for another 25 years to have exclusive monopoly over the rail. That which the CDC people wanted to undo, that made them to reject the deal because they wanted to enter into multi-users arrangement where the country will be able to generate more revenue. Waka goes to Paris, gets assured and guarantee of certain personal stuff. He comes back and signs the agreement just as it is, with all of these flaws and all of these misgivings. 1, absence of NRA oversight, National Rail Authority oversight. When you read a deal, right, that Waka signed, there is an absence of total oversight as required by law of the NRA. ArcelorMittal say, no, you're bringing that NRA thing to us, right? So the deal fails to acknowledge or empower the National Rail Authority, contrary to established policy and executive order, creating the NRA as governing authority. 2, our SOP dominates future law or NRA excluded. Establishes AML drafted rail standard operating principles. So they have their own standard operating principles that takes precedence over the National Rail Authority. What kind of country are we? Right? So the company, you giving the contract to the company, say they contract you coming in the contract that our own rail regulating authority that one will decide what happened on this rail.
They are dictating to you what you should do in your own country.
The president goes, he signs, he say, yeah, I agree. And you know, take a bonso and Buffon, so yep, in the pen. So yeah, he signed. Say sign, yeah. Right? This is what we are. So for 25 years, bleak. And that's exactly what it is. Right? 3, our SOP amendment veto say requires AML prior consent to amend our SOP. That means in the event where if you think you're playing trick on the board, you sign it, then you can't do that and say, oh no, let's change the RSOP. The company say for any amendment to happen to the RSOP, ArcelorMittal must agree, right, Hagar?
Mm-hmm.
ArcelorMittal must agree before anything happens. So you don't have the authority.
You gave ArcelorMittal the veto power.
You give them the veto power.
Like the Constitution of our republic gave the president the veto power.
Mm-hmm.
Now in this MDA, ArcelorMittal is claiming all rights and power to veto whether there will be or any conversation tomorrow about an amendment to their agreement.
Correct.
This is where we are.
So now, if you bring Ivanhoe, for example, and you try to something, this could jeopardize the conversation arrangement with Ivanhoe as much as there is an agreement between the government of Liberia and the government of Guinea on that whole real something that the Ivanhoe concession also tries to contradict. So there's contradiction, mix of contradictions everywhere, right? 4, lack of independent oversight, MUA or our SOP. So the MUA and our SOP developed bilaterally with AML and GOL only, with no reference to NRA oversight or requirement of future independent operator, right? So now, what becomes of the Rail Authority? If you read the executive order establishing the Rail Authority, you will know that it is supposed to provide oversight over Liberia rail infrastructure, right, Hagar?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you take the authority for that oversight and veto, and of course review of these kinds of critical conversations in the sector, then the Rail Authority becomes a toothless bulldog. It's just there. Then the company has a right. So what would be appealing to independent operator in the future to come and say, oh, we want to use this, right? Operator transition condition on Guinea tones under AML control. Makes transfer to independent operator contingent on Guinea through through out over 10 MTPA, right? The technicians know what that interpret are delaying transition beyond 2030 and contracting GOL's commitment to an independent operator. So the GOL commitment.
That whole thing about the government wanting to make the rail from Yekepa to Buchanan a multi-user rail. That is, the government reserved the right that in case tomorrow, like you want to have a connection from Guinea to connect with the rail there in Yekepa, this portion of the MDA is telling us the government cannot do that until after 2030. So you see that? So any other multi-user conversation will only happen on after 2030. So ArcelorMittal reserve that full right. They still hold ownership of our rail. They still prove that they are the giant over our rail. So
technically, they're smartly denying us of any arrangement with Guinea and even other people that won't use the rail for Liberia to benefit out of it. The president go.
But the same president is having conversation with Ivan Ho, but he's not looking at this portion of the ArcelorMittal
MDA. Document the message sign. You say, some things, say, Katumu will take care of Katumu on the side, will take care of Jojo then party can go here, and do the one. So son. And this is troubling, right? 6, capacity study under AML supervision. AML supervises independent capacity study, undermining impartial assessment and preventing government and NRA from exercising oversight authority. So if somebody else want to come work in a place, AML say that not the government will assess their capacity. That AML, which is a party to ill. So AML will go say, what he got qualified.
So if the government, for example, want Higa to work in certain position in AML, AML can say, hey, to hell with the government. We got our expert that we have brought in country, and we are going to give this to our expert. So again, Abu, we get back to why the Minister of Labor continue to sell Liberians job. So this conversation, even though they are telling us that ArcelorMittal new agreement is going to create more jobs for Liberians, but this portion of the MDA is making us to understand that AML reserve all right to decide who is going to work in what position in their company. So the government cannot go like you not sell anything to them. Whether you say 4,000, 6,000 for work permit, AML is capacity enough to purchase 10 or 15 of that. Correct. And ensure that they bring in experts who can work in those positions. So they are Liberians.
So you can cry with blood in the future to say, oh, they hiring Liberian, they hiring future, but that time Baga finish sign a deal, take a signature, Bonaire, they may resting, and I want your business. AML say when you get to that point, you're not coming detail to say you go protest, oh, you gotta hire that privilege that you had to detect and say, oh, poor Liberian, the post say no, we will decide now, we'll take and decide who can pull where.
I mean, looking at this deal it appears more terrible than even the one that was signed in 2005. That's what this deal is telling us. Because AML is cognizant of the fact that Liberians will come up tomorrow to make this noise. So they say everything on this. So that tomorrow, in case when they are not trying to raise come to themselves to raise this issue, we already got a lawyer in our
they want you get right. So as you say, oh, you got to pull Liberian, they will say, no, you go back to the MD. You don't get lawyer. The president signed they won't. You don't get right on this side. You don't get so. Another thing is what? Say reservation of 45 MW.
Let's go to 7. Capacity. 7 say restriction on new user construction.
Correct.
Okay, so here it tells you prevents other users from constructing facilities until AML completes its expansion. Directly restrict fair multi-user access policy.
So nobody know when AML will complete, but AML say you will stop every other person that want to do any development infrastructure until they finish.
The next MDA is going to go for 25 years, and I think ArcelorMittal got 5 or so more years.
Yeah, I think it was 9. I think it was
so
5
if
or
it's
6.
Around 5 or 6 years, then we're talking about 30 or 31 years from now. That is when Hagar and Abu, even our children that were born when they are in their 30s. That's what AML, this new conversation. The president have already signed this. This is what going to the money eaters. The guys who don't even have integrity, that why did I send to them?
So what?
So imagine what is going to happen.
What would the real authority be doing? Who will you be attracting? If you attract anybody, AML say, we have under the law, we can prevent you from doing anything until we finish our expansion. So you go to AML, you finish the expansion, AML said, no, we finish you, we're still doing the plan, we're still doing it, won't be tracking. So this is technically denying Liberia of needed revenues, putting everything at the whims of AML. Reservation of 45 MWMTPA capacity, right? So grants AML exclusive reservation right to up to 45 MTPA, crowding out future entrants and obstructing equitable capacity allocation by the NRA. So you disarming the NRA so significantly that they can't do anything. They got to go to Asilometer. So technically, it will be the government. Every time you want to do something, you got to go ask them. That you put rental in your house. But before you do anything, you got to ask the renter, oh, I'm going to do the one, right? The renter has to agree before you do it. So who actually owns the house, right? Temporary capacity rental, 12 months. Limit third-party access to short-term 12 months rental. So anybody, in the event where you finish passing through all the things AML agreeing, you can AML say they can only give you 12 months. Only 12 months, nothing more than 12 months. You got to come.
When you perform, they are not certified. They know that where they can tell you the next time you won't go back.
Go back and say they ain't signing your contract. They ain't extending your contract.
You can do nothing about that.
And you will not use the real. The president said he agreed. He signed. Then they say AML pre-qualification of independent operator gives AML major role in selecting successor operator, undermines independence and transparency of future operation or operator appointments. AML say when we finish now, we tire, right? You won't bring in another person. We got to agree when we are. So when AML is technically leaving, AML will prepare somebody else to kind of take over the country. That inheritance AML, this clause is clearly guaranteeing inheritance for AML. Say when the part leaving, you find a son, you say go take over. Liberian government don't have the boss at that point to question because there's a contract that the president. So they told the president said, yeah, your son. Right? Exclusive Buchanan Port and Channel rights. Exclusive Buchanan Port and Channel rights. So if you understand what that is, exclusive Buchanan Port. I mean, state property, getting everything over to private company like that. So would that be here existing and that's it? Look, you got more years to cry. 31 year, right? 31 years. Billions will be dragged out of this country and all your hands and feet are tied right in the concession and the president signed. With all the noise that people causing, the president signed. No review.
So, Abu, let's get back to number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 says AML pre-qualification of independent operator. And what it one means? Gives AML major role in selecting successor. You hear the nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
30 years from now, if AML decide that our operation feeling like Bureau, we now want to see AML also reserve the right as per what Baka signed. They reserve the right to determine who is going to take over. So whether the government got 5 competitors who are willing to bid for this, AML will determine who amongst the 5, even if what you are offering is not satisfactory enough to the government, AML is going to determine who is going to or take over from them. You hear the nonsense. This is what the president is
under the law. The president
the reason Baka is rushing to sign this, or Baka has rushed to sign this, he will be nowhere around when these things are haunting Liberians.
So that for simply put, that for signature bonus being the old man finish said the country the whole feature everything said. That you won't make you say, okay, we'll just pay after 10 now what to do. So the generation after that coming, tell you go media and say, oh, who's son? And say, oh, that Grandpa Joe. That they say that the thing Grandpa Joe left for you. Say you gotta wait. You can't do nothing. Then ArcelorMittal will have to seed us. Let's go to 11. Exclusive Buchanan Port. Say grant AML exclusive operational and expansion rights at Buchanan Port, undermining NPA jurisdiction and GOL's multi-user port policy. So one time, I think in passing, we talk about this, right? That a new deal that AML is proposing will limit NPA authority on the Buchanan Port. The port, say, oh, the Northern Port will take over the whole thing now, right? This is where we are getting. The president signed onto those ones. People don't want to criticize or raise the alarm on this, and they're falling for trivial conversation when the future for 31 years is being sold out. Buchanan BEF subcontract limit restricts AML's BEF subcontract to 3 MTPA until 2027, preventing other users from accessing port capacity and limiting GOL's development flexibility. What is that? 13, a failure to meet social plan does not breach. And this is about the people. So let's come to the people side. AML say, all that you're protesting and you've been doing, when you go into the details of the AML's agreement, you will know that, and the sections are there, right? The different sections, the clauses, these are the clauses and the sections, right? So 13 is saying, when AML failed to meet up with the social and welfare component.
For example, say the government say AML is supposed to build housing for or housing unit for those who are working with the company. This portion of the agreement says if AML doesn't live up to that agreement or that arrangement, no, they're not breach. No, you can't carry AML to court. You can't prevent them from operating. You can't do nothing to them for that. If there are issues like social corporate responsibility, the place that AML is operating, the waters are dirty by AML and Liberians who are living in that place. They can get access to safe drinking water. They got the AML agreement here that President Bouaka signed. They say this one here are not breach. You can't carry AML anywhere for it. You can't do nothing to them for it. So they will decide what they want to do. You see where we are today, my people. You listen to this. Go and read the ArcelorMittal new MDA that they have sent. The president have already signed this for 200 million. It is on its way now to
your lawmakers. So lastly, say royalty-based fair market value, right? So the way the royalty is supposed to be paid, AML say no, they will come into it now. We gotta be detecting how we even pay your royalty. That's what the countries will be getting for every iron ore. So AML will come and tell us, oh, they were looking that $10 will give you today.
$10 in the market, so give you
$5 today. So removes explicit link to international benchmark iron ore prices. So there's an international benchmark. Under the arrangement, ArcelorMittal removes that one, right? And to Liberia. So when you leave it in your discretion, so undervalue the stuff and pull it out. So every day will not have medicine in the hospital, will not have nothing. And let's quickly listen to the ELBC reporter that went with the president to Paris. For those of you that will still argue why the president went there for, right? And here Anthony Williams, and here Anthony Williams says out why the president went to Paris for. With all we have read, this is your country. Time is fast spent. We take 10 to 12 calls, and then we call it a day. We'll be out of here, right? So it's gone already. This is it's gone. I sent it to you. All right. Check I sent it on my other number. All right. So okay. So let me
this is Liberia for all of us. These are the things that our country. Let's talk to this person while we wait to get that video. Good morning.
Good morning, Austin. Good morning, Abu.
Morning.
My name Ahmed Sama call from Lower Johnsonville. Yeah,
Austin is not here. Austin is not here. I don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah, Abu. Yeah, today we are witnessing our country going bankrupt. We are losing our country to watch of this old man who has nothing to offer. Put his full book according to today and told him that when people that trusted somebody about putting salt in water to go a kilo of food, when was in the price. But today is a first. We understand that their country is going down the drain. Everything has come to stop. They're so out. They will not stand up right now as funds will go down. See what you're reading? See the kind of agreement affected generation upon generation because it's really nowhere around. Yes. Thank you so much.
Let's talk to this person. 0776104104. Okay, let's listen to the ERBC reporter that went with the president to Paris. Let's listen to him right here, just for 59 seconds. We'll come right back to pick more calls.
Of that, we've been informed that the Liberian leader is expected to hold special or key discussions with a steel giant or mining giant, ArcelorMittal. As you all know, ArcelorMittal has been operating in Liberia for over a decade now, and as we speak, their current mineral development agreement discussions are on the table for renewal of that mineral, agreement. As you all also know, ArcelorMittal Liberia has been making huge investments in Liberia.
And folks, I'm also observing that the regime is trying to make it seem as though that was the signature bonus was something that they got from the trip. No, that thing they call signature bonus, that 200 million year ball, that's not what the president got from Paris. ArcelorMittal is working here. Every concession, they can get signature bonus, right? And whether you're going to stay here or sign it anywhere, so basically, when they took him there, was to go and persuade him, convince him, and guarantee certain things. So whatever they guaranteed to him, he did not announce that, he did not say it. So whatever money he got from there, he did not say it, right? But the one that is by law, that signature bonus is by law. That one Baka ain't get nothing to do with it. When George Weah went to Paris, he got $10 million. That was his lobbying with the French authority, right? And selling of Liberia challenges in areas that he needed assistance. And the French president saw the need and committed $10 million. That one was free money. George Weah used his diplomatic skills to attract and took and brought to Liberia. Kula, he did not put it in back, and when he reached to the airport and distributed it among people, no, right? It came and got channels through different governmental programs and affected the country at different level. Beyond that, he secured support for TVET and youth development through his visit to Paris. So when they ask you, what did your president secure? Only for AML to go guarantee, you say, oh, that is the reason why he saw his reception. So that take a few calls and be out of here.
Good morning to this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning, Ida.
You're live. Go ahead.
I'm Sam. I call from Johnsonville. Thank you for the topic on the discussion this morning. So you mean, Joseph Baka, the constitution that says that if you have your right to assemble a protest, Joseph Baka erase that one from the constitution because of settlement. And then, Joseph Baka, standing for.
I say you can protest, but when you finish protesting the protest, I say no, we're not forced to do it. We're not forced to do this.
Yeah. So that means when you metal and then you are just enchanted, what I say to others, you get back up and leave, not do anything.
Okay, let's talk to somebody else. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You live, go ahead.
So let me say good morning to Abu and it's me boss this morning. I need to see Kamara. I call you that this morning from Princeton. You know, this president does come to power to for our country and even for and I think it's about time for to speak to our lawmakers. Look, this deal is not a good thing. This deal needs to be cancelled because we cannot tell our lawmakers to vote for this deal. It's the interest of our country. Because this deal, are you telling me that this deal is even telling us that ArcelorMittal will pay another replacement or company for their leaving power? When that time is over, what sense does that make? Are you telling me that you rented for me and then you say to me how you want my house to be? Right?
We even put your horse. I leave for your horse. That we even put your horse. I don't want to decide. We even put your horse.
What kind of embarrassment is this? What kind of embarrassment is this? If President Baka don't know how to read and write properly,
you don't have the strength to go through. You know.
No, he has the strength. He mean it. Who tell you the president? He has the strength. He reads this thing, and that's just telling you that the best thing the man can offer, like bro, those are the best that he can offer. Baka is not. You can't offer anything better than this.
So the lawmakers should not pass this deal because this deal is a false deal.
You trust that people and 10,000 men?
All I think you're talking, the guys are preparing to present your lawmakers pick up and their envelopes. So all I think you're talking about
we saw the 2005, ArcelorMittal team here. They did the lawmakers and not 100 vehicles at that time in the start of the deal. But up to the 2025, 3 years ago now, they have not been able to meet even 50% of the agreement.
Okay, let's talk to somebody else here. Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Professor.
Yeah, this is a humble chairman I joined from the show. See, Abu Egan, for some of us, this was not strange. This is the same United Party and Joseph Wakai and who is like 18 June and stay a setting like the Jeff Farmington Hotel on that free clearing on 25 years. So the bad guys are back again to complete their bad job that they started. So this is the thing. Liberia and all main ones who are patriotic. This view is not their bad view, but this view shows this person is not prepared to uphold the Constitution. He's circumventing the Constitution. And lawmakers who are conscious-minded lawmakers. This is a cause for impeachment. The Constitution should not be subjected to any kind of knee-jerk agreement or laws. That particular agreement is circumventing our Constitution. It's running our Constitution to be useless. So anywhere I mean Liberia and lawmaker, wherever you are, whatever you can use, let us use it to stop this deal. Because it's very terrible and powerful as you.
All right.
Thank you so kindly. I'm sure we can do it like that.
Yeah, we gotta go. I like this one guy. Hemezi. Aaron Kufati, after 2029 elections, I will be the Assistant Minister for Fiscal Policy at the Ministry of Finance. I can tell the Judean Minister Chie, man. This country is interesting. But look, man, we gotta go. Congratulations to all of our friends walking the walls of the AMU University. This week, I'm told, I think Friday or so, men will be coming out. Austin Kawa, Bobby Kwemini, and just all of you. I mean, the list is endless. Call names are going to be too much. But Austin is the guy. Yeah, he's going to be walking out. So yeah, Austin will tell where the party will be. We'll go there. So everybody will go there. Until we do have a wonderful time. We got to leave.
And we'll be here on tomorrow. Until then, let's keep the peace of Liberia. This country will not burn.
Bye-bye.